Hello and welcome to It's Tea Time. I'm your host, Jonathan Sellers, and joined by my side is the Director of Athletics for Troy University, Jeremy McClain. And Jeremy, you're back from Oregon State, and I know the trip didn't end with a win like we hoped, but what was the experience like for the women's basketball team that got to go out there and play in the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, it was great. I think, first of all, just the opportunity to be in the tournament. Obviously, our second time in the history of the program, first time in the Sun Belt, first time as Sun Belt champs, and so a chance to just go out there and experience that is a big step in the right direction. Corvallis is a beautiful place. We really enjoyed getting to see that and I think experience that a little bit. Oregon State, they were great hosts, and so the event itself was really good. Great crowd, great atmosphere for women's basketball. I think crowd was somewhere around 5,000, I think, and so. That says a lot for women's basketball, and they support women's basketball there, obviously, and so that was fun. Obviously, like you said, the game was a difficult matchup, and they're a very, very good team and have a chance to really go far in this tournament and have a lot of success. But I think again, as a program, I think getting there and experiencing that is a step in the right direction, something we can build on moving forward.
And just speaking of moving forward, I mean, you get to use that now as a recruiting tool that, hey, we made the NCAA tournament, come help us make more. But this team only loses one piece, and that's a very big piece, and that's actually Beverly Kelly. But there's a lot coming back for next year and to build on.
And like you said, so there's a foundation there with that group of a really strong group of juniors and some younger players who will have experienced that and know what it's like to be in that atmosphere. So moving into next year, that can only help us. And again, being an NCAA tournament team, that's from a recruiting perspective is always a feather in the cap.
All right, let's talk about some other sports that have been doing well. Softball team went on the road to Appalachian State over the weekend and a record-breaking weekend up there. Scored a lot of runs. We had a Sun Belt Player of the Week, and she wasn't even the one who had the record-breaking game. Hannah Day came back with a monster weekend, and Kaler had a huge game on Sunday. Just talk about their performance up there.
Yeah, that was pretty special. You can play for a long time and not get to experience something quite like that. And so between Hannah Day and Carly Kaler, it was along with several other people, but those two really the ones that had the record-setting weekends. I think Hannah on Friday tied an NCAA record with 16 total bases. And so Carly on Saturday came back and broke the NCAA record with 17 total bases.
One-upped her.
Yeah, so for that to happen back-to-back days, and we've swung the bats well all year, and so I think things kind of lined up right up there, and just a special day that I know they'll all remember, and obviously, like you said, Hannah's conference player of the year. We'll see what kind of awards come the rest of the week, but she'll be in a position to be in the conversation for some national awards this week, and just a really special weekend all the way around. I think she had 6 or 7 home runs on the weekend, so just an unbelievable accomplishment, and glad to be able to get that series, sweep that series on the road, which is always tough to do.
Well, and especially leading into what's coming up this weekend, and you get to welcome Louisiana Lafayette to town, a national powerhouse in softball, but a team that Troy could really show something with some wins this weekend. Yeah,
so I think it's we talk a lot about measuring stick and kind of seeing where you're at. Right. They're the kind of program we'd love to have them at home, and they're a perennial top 10 program, and I think that's where they're ranked now this year, and I think if I'm not mistaken, maybe have 2 losses on the year, but very strong on the mound, at the plate, you name it, they're going to be very strong, and so we had to play very well, and again, a great measuring stick for our program. We're off to a good start this year, and so we'll kind of get to see where we're at.
And those games are going to be Friday and Saturday, doubleheader on Friday, I think 3 and 5, and then noon on Saturday, and it should be a pretty good weekend for fans to go out there.
That's right. Encourage everybody to come out. I think the weather's going to be good, and obviously with Easter, we're going to play those games on Friday and Saturday, and should be a lot of fun. Again, a great opponent, a national power from the standpoint of making regionals and World Series in the past, and so should be a lot of fun, and look forward to that here at home.
And then baseball, after kind of not a disappointing, but a tough loss to Louisiana Lafayette in a series here at home. They went on the road and kind of redeemed themselves, taking 2 or 3 from Georgia Southern, and that had to be a boost as they are now back at 500 in Sun Belt play.
Yeah, definitely. I think, again, going on the road and winning a series, in conference play is not an easy thing to do. And so you go play the Georgia Southern team that has played well and has some good pieces. And so I think that says a lot. Bounce back from losing a series at home last weekend to winning that series on the road and kind of even that out. And then coming up, have a midweek game this week at home, and then a weekend series on the road, another conference weekend. Then get to come back home for a while,
right.
And I know our guys are looking forward to that, and have a home stretch of about 10 or so games after that. So if we can work through this next week here and kind of keep the ship headed in the right direction, we'll get a chance to get them home and bounce back.
I know the coaching staff has said this has been one of the toughest stretches they've ever seen, and it's going to kind of wrap up this weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday for them as well. They're kind of not going to play Easter Sunday, but up in Little Rock. So kind of a tough trip, but she said if they can make it through that, maybe win the series, sweep the series would be huge, but then they get to come home for a while, that would be a big plus. But some other teams doing well, men's golf, they're on the road right now playing. You got any update on them?
No update right now, but I will say they've been playing extremely well. They have beaten some teams ranked in the top 10 over the last couple of tournaments, and have themselves around the 50 spot in the country,
okay.
which is great, which really kind of puts you in a position to be in contention for postseason play,
right.
An at-large bid in the NCAA tournament, and that's kind of that's where you want to position yourself. And then on the women's side, they're also competing. They're competing right now, and have kind of been turning a corner this spring, getting better every time out, and they're in a position to win a tournament today. They're finishing up play today. We're in good shape going into the final round up in Sanford, and so that's encouraging for them, and I think good things ahead for them as we finish out the spring season, get ready for postseason play there.
And the women's team on Monday had a record-breaking day for themselves as well. I believe it was a 12 under as a team on Monday, and that's for people who know golf. That's pretty good.
It is, and so that says a lot too. Like you said, that's a record day for us. I think the men a couple of weekends ago set the record, a new school record on the men's side. So it's been a couple week run here where we've had a chance to break some records and across all sports. And so that says a lot for, I think, what our coaching staff and our student athletes are doing, but also I think it says a lot about where we're headed as a program. We want to create that momentum where it's not, we want all of our programs to be in a position to compete postseason. And so I think we're headed in a positive direction there. I think we've got some good pieces in place, and our job is to continue to just make sure that they've got the resources to be successful.
And that's what I wanted to bring up is the resources, and the golf team was able to get that when they got the practice facility finished a year or so ago, and then the actual facility itself where they're able to have locker rooms, they're able to have the indoor cages and things like that. It only makes them get better and able to recruit better.
Absolutely, and so that's a big piece of exactly what we're talking about. I see them down there all the time. Mm-hmm. I can go by at any time of day or night, and somebody's down there in the facility working, and so that's a big boost. And then obviously on the recruiting trail, we're competing for recruits really across the South,
right.
Even across the Southeast, and so some really good golf programs. And so that's a great example, not just for golf, but for all of our programs of being in that position to compete for recruits, to get the right fit recruit-wise here for Troy, but those are the things that are going to help us continue to get better.
And I know tennis teams, they're both doing well. The men's team with such a tough opening season schedule, they're now back over 500 if
yep.
I'm correct. And women's team, they're moving up in the rankings as well.
That's right. I think the last time I checked, the women were ranked maybe in the 60s, and had a lot of success lately, and both of them kind of gotten their feet under them and have had some success. As you mentioned, the men had some injuries early and kind of really difficult schedule early on, and with those injuries kind of set us up for a slow start, but they really bounced back, and I think we'll be in a good position as postseason play gets here to make a move. And
I know we keep on mentioning this, but a few activities that are coming up. Football season or practice starts today, the spring schedule. They're going to be practicing Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, I believe, for the next little while.
Right.
And then they got the Hall of Fame game, as y'all are calling it, on April 9th. Mm-hmm. And then the Hall of Fame ceremony is that night, right?
That's correct. So, love for everybody to come out and enjoy practice. Practices are open to the public, and I know the coaches and players enjoy people being out there. So, excited about spring ball starting for those guys and what's kind of on the horizon. And like you said, April 9th, we'll host a Hall of Fame scrimmage there at the stadium. We'll have baseball and softball games going on that day, and then the Hall of Fame ceremony that night. And then April 23rd will be T-Day, another big day for us and kind of our spring game wrap-up for the spring season.
So a lot going on right now. I know a busy time, but a lot to look forward to. As we said, a lot of record-breaking performances. Hopefully you can keep those going and keep the W's coming in the win column.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, stay tuned for more coming up on It's Tea Time. And welcome back to It's Tea Time, and here with Brad Phillips of the baseball team, pitching coach for the Trojans. And Coach, y'all had a tough stretch of games, and we've been talking about that for the past few weeks, just how tough things have been for y'all. You lost 2 of 3 to Louisiana Lafayette at home, and then had to go back on the road for a tough slate against Georgia Southern, but were able to win 2 of 3 there, and that had to be kind of a pick-me-up for your team.
Very uplifting for our group of guys. We had a good, solid win on Friday night. Grant Bennett was really good again, and our bullpen, and we found ways to score just enough runs there to get a good Friday night win. Set us up in good position for the weekend. Then they come back and, of course, tied the series up and got ahead of us early on Sunday.
Right.
And we started clicking a little bit on offense as the game moved on, and was able to run away from them for a big series win on the road.
And that's kind of what's been a bit of a struggle, is when you've gotten guys on and had opportunities to come back or take that lead, that you haven't been able to do so. But Sunday, being able to get a few hits when you needed them, that had to be big as well.
We had some timely hits with runners on base, and like you said, we've struggled with that. Over the past couple of weeks, and we had some guys step up and finally get something off the bat, and you kind of feel the tide turn a little bit, and we've put ourselves in position many times, just hadn't had that big hit, and this weekend we had a couple of big hits that was very encouraging, and hopefully we can keep it rolling. And
you've got a little bit of a compacted week this week. Things are a little bit different. You're going to play Tuesday night here tonight against Alabama A&M, a home game, and it's a good opportunity. Don't like to overlook any opponent, but Troy has never lost to Alabama A&M. That doesn't mean they can't come out here and play a good game, but it's a good opportunity for your team to continue to hit, to go out there and get some good solid innings and try to pick up another win.
Well, it's just a good opportunity to go back to work.
Right.
No matter who the opponent is, we're able to go to the ballpark and kind of, hopefully we can kind of build on what happened on the weekend, and we definitely don't want to take any opponent for granted. That's for sure. So that's the way we look at it. It's another day at the office, another day to go to work and try to get something accomplished, and then we got a quick turnaround heading to Little Rock tomorrow for a Thursday, Friday, Saturday series, and they seem to be playing really well right now. And Little Rock's always a tough place to play, so it's another challenging week for us.
And that's what I was going to say, the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and the reason is because of Easter Sunday this weekend. But is that going to change up anything other than just moving travel up a day ahead?
Well, it gets you out of your routine a little bit. We are going to go Brown, Bennett, A-Bear this weekend, okay, as opposed to Bennett, Brown, A-Bear. Grant just needs his full week of recovery, and so that's why we've decided to do that. But it comes down to us just continuing to focus on ourselves and what we can do and what we need to do. And it's another, as all road series, it's a big conference road weekend heading into our bye weekend. So really would like to get the series on the road, that's for sure.
And parity has been a thing we've seen the past few years in Sunbelt baseball. Normally it had been just a couple of teams, Louisiana Lafayette and South Alabama and Troy at the top. It's kind of a big jumble right now. A lot of teams are up there and have the opportunity. You say Arkansas Little Rock's another one of those teams. What can you do to go take 2 or 3 up there?
Well, we've got to continue to pitch like we've been pitching. We got to get the timely hits like we did on Sunday. It's going to be a tough challenge. They took 2 of 3 from Lafayette at Lafayette, and they were very, very convincing wins of the 2 wins that they did win. So definitely not overlooking Little Rock this weekend. We're going to go up there and play well to win the series. We expect to do that. Hopefully we can come back with a series win.
All right, Coach. Well, I know it'll be a tough week, but good luck up there.
Thank you, Jonathan.
All right, join us again for more coming up on It's Tea Time. And welcome back to It's Tea Time, and we're here with the head coach of the women's basketball team. That's Coach Chanda Rigby. And Coach, I know y'all made the trip up to Oregon State and didn't quite end how y'all wanted it to. A tough loss up there to a very good Oregon State team. But overall, how was the experience?
The experience was amazing, and yes, the game didn't go the way we wanted to, but it was such a learning experience. And it just whet our desire to get back there and to know what we need to do different to be successful there. I really have a plan mapped out of what I think we could do to be successful when we go back. It was a great experience.
Do you want to tell us that plan, or is it a secret plan?
Well, first of all, win more games in conference, you can get a higher seed and not have to play a potentially Final Four team on your first outing like Oregon State. They were phenomenal, and they're still in the tournament on Sweet 16. But also, you might need to change a few things in recruiting. Whereas I can, obviously we've proved we can win in the Sun Belt Conference with the type of players I'm recruiting. I might go for a little more height in the 17 class.
Right, and people who maybe not know Oregon State, they had 7 players over 6'3". That's a big men's team, much less a big women's team, and they've definitely showed their height during the game.
That's right, and they were just not only big, but just very skilled and very good and determined. And he had a good senior mix on there that had leadership. They have it going on.
But let's talk about kind of moving forward from that. I know losing just one senior, and that's Ashley Beverly Kelly, and that's a big piece. I mean, she's a great player, one of the all-time greats at Troy. But you've got a big junior class, and that's a lot of experience coming back. That's got to be something big and beneficial for next season.
To say that we have 8 returning that will be seniors next year, I mean, that's phenomenal. I mean, sometimes that can even be worth more than talent, which we have both. We have talent coming in, but it's just really your sixth man when you have those seniors because, they've been there, they know, and especially the experience that they got this year of winning a Sun Belt championship, coming from behind in 3 games to win a championship, and then going to get that NCAA experience.
And then you've already signed 3 in the early signing period, 3 high school students that will come in and hopefully make an impact. You want to talk about those for us?
Well, locally from Keith High School, Harriet Winchester, I just think she's one of the best athletes anywhere around here. Took her team to the championship game, won the championship game last year, high school state championship. She'll be an incredible scorer for us and just a great athlete. Michaela Robinson's from Effingham County in Georgia, a great athletic guard, a scoring guard, a ball handler that can break a press, much like Ashley Beverly Kelly, not on that level yet, but we think one day could be. And then Lauren Day, who's on our team, her sister Jessie Day signed with us from Niceville High School. She's up for McDonald's All-American. She's won many awards, took her team to the championship as well this year, first time in history that they made it to the Final Four. The history of the school, I believe. So we've got 3 winners that we've signed that we're very excited about. And
to say McDonald's All-American, that may not mean a lot to a lot of people, but that's a big honor, and that's big on the recruiting stages to call somebody a McDonald's All-American.
It is, and what I talked about, what we learned we need. She has height in the position that we want to play her in. She's about 6'2", maybe a little more, but could play even a wing position. Okay. So now we're talking and getting on that next level.
And so have you worked on next year's schedule at all? Is that set, or is that something that's still a work in progress?
Coach Graff is working on it, and we're trying to get it approved by the end of the week. We do have a couple of big name schools on there. I can't really say because the contracts aren't signed, but we are trying to seek higher and higher levels of competition to push us to be successful in the end.
Well, Coach, I know it was a fun year keeping track of y'all, and I know hopefully continued success next year, and can't wait to see what that preseason and into the season looks like. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
All right, and join us for more coming up on It's Tea Time. And welcome to our final segment here on It's Tea Time, and we're here with Coach Beth Mullins of the Troy softball team. And Coach, went up to Appalachian State over the weekend, and record-breaking performances all around. Just kind of take us through the weekend.
It was interesting. I thought last week at home, I don't think we played, up to our abilities, and I think my 2 assistants, Alex Hupp and Taylor Smart, did a really good job of kind of talking with the team and kind of getting their mojo back over practice. And so when we went up to Boone, I thought the girls did a really good job of just showing up and doing kind of what we expect. But it was crazy. I mean, I'm not going to lie. It was really fun to watch them just play Troy softball.
Right.
And I think when we do that, no matter who we're playing, we give ourselves a really good chance to score a lot of runs, but also, win a ball game.
And let's just kind of talk about some of the performances. I know Hannah Day, she was named the Sun Belt Player of the Week and maybe National Player of the Week. Can you talk about some of the records or some of her numbers from over the weekend?
Yeah, she, I know some of the eye-popping ones is she had 6 home runs, 20 RBIs, which the 20 RBIs is the most impressive thing. To have 20 RBIs in 3 games is, first of all, it's an attribute to her, but also for her teammates to be on base for her to have that many RBIs. But I think she was 16 for 19. It was something insane. But it's one of those performances where, as a coach, you just leave them alone. I mean, I don't think I said a word to her except just keep doing the same thing. So, yeah, she was a Sun Belt Player of the Week, and, you know, I believe she got National Player of the Week, which I don't think Troy's ever had one. So for her to get that, I mean, I'm just a proud coach, so I'm excited.
But she had a NCAA tying 16 total bases in a game on Friday.
Right.
And then Carly Kaler one-upped her and broke the NCAA record
Yeah.
and got 17 total bases on a game on Saturday.
Yeah, it was interesting. We actually put Carly in the 9 spot because she does a really good job of turning the lineup over. So for your 9 hole to have 4 home runs in a game, you know your offense is clicking pretty well when that happens. But she's just a winner. And both of them, I mean, our whole team, if you went from 1 through 9 and really 1 through 21, everybody had a great weekend. I mean, it was the most, you know, together performance I've ever seen out of our lineup. So it was something to be proud of.
And this week, it's a tough test. As you're back at home, going to be Friday and Saturday for Louisiana Lafayette. One of the best teams in the country every single year. You get them at your house. Is that last weekend? I mean, I know you want that to carry over, but what are you going to have to do to win the series against Louisiana Lafayette?
You know, and this last weekend was exciting, but I thought what the girls did so good is every at-bat they had a quality at-bat and just kept, and, you know, that's our expectation for this weekend. I don't really care who we're playing or, you know, what anybody's ranked, because our job is just to go in there and play Troy softball. And if we do that, we give ourselves a chance against anybody in the country. And so my goal is, obviously, it's hard to expect your girls to score 59 runs on a weekend, and that's not really what we expect. We just expect a quality at bat and quality pitching, you know, one pitch at a time, whether you're on defense, offense, or, you know, pitching. So that's kind of our expectations. And when you look on the scoreboard, it's either going to be in your favor or not. But if we play Troy softball and play against the game and ourselves and try to be a little bit better than we were last weekend, maybe not the runs, but then we'll be okay.
But this should be a great weekend for softball fans and any just Troy fans to come out, see some good softball, hopefully some good weather. And it's Friday at 3 and 5?
Yeah, Friday 3 and 5, and then Saturday at noon.
Okay, no game on Sunday because of Easter, but those 3 games, doubleheader Friday night and then Saturday, should be a great opportunity to get out there, hopefully get some wins, and hopefully keep things rolling.
Hey, that's the goal. Just play Troy softball.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, join us again next week for more of It's Tea Time.